Hello, I'm Susan Hawkins, founder of SHP Financial Training, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to interview Kevin Gibson, CEO of Robert Walters Brazil Recruitment Consultancy, about the importance of the ACCA qualification in the recruitment market. Robert Walters has around 3,700 employees around the world and works in over 30 countries, including and its head office is in London, UK. And SHP Financial Training was founded in 2014 in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and is the only approved ACCA Learning Partner in Latin America. In terms of a bit of background on ACCA, which is relatively new in Brazil, the ACCA qualification is the world's leading accounting qualification for finance professionals. It opens doors to a variety of professional finance jobs all around the world. And there are three components to achieving the ACCA qualification, which are, number one, completing a maximum of 13 exams. Some students will receive exemptions from those exams depending on their academic background. So accountants, for example, receive four exemptions, at least four exemptions. Second component is completing an ethics and professional skills module online. And the third component is 3 years of practical work experience within a relevant role or relevant roles. So it therefore takes around 3 to 4 years to complete the qualification, and it's equivalent to a UK master's degree. All exams are in English, although students are not graded on their English itself. Okay, so in terms of questions, Kevin, how is the ACCA qualification viewed by employers, and particularly employers in Brazil?
Yes, once again, it's a thanks for having me today, Suzanne. It's fantastic to talk to you about this. Robert Walters specializes in placing accountants all over the world, and we have a lot of experience globally with ACCA qualified candidates. And in our experience, a person with the ACCA qualification, it proves they've had a commitment to professional development and also English language skills, which is extremely important for global firms operating here in Brazil. These days, employers aren't just looking for a degree anymore. They're looking for someone who's got a broader technical skills, soft skills to move into management, business acumen, and effective communication. Employers really value candidates with the ACCA qualifications because they do have the skills to grow the business. So, the ACCA is one of the most, rigorous qualifications out there. To include 36 months worth of practical experience really does set them apart. So people can come into an organization and there is a confidence that they can be immediately valuable to the organization. So highly valued. We deal with global international clients. There's also a number of Brazilian companies who are looking at international operations who look at these type of qualifications to have finance people can help grow the business and have an international mindset. So I think 81% of these companies, the approved employer status, it helps them attract great quality candidates, and most kind of companies say that this is really important to them. So, but this whole qualification, as well as the improved employer status, is a real benefit, for the companies, and it's becoming more and more of a globally recognized qualification for finance people who have real, business sense and acumen.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kevin. And from the point of view of delivering the classes, the content, the material that's covered in the exams is very relevant to the workplace, which will be why employers find it so, find that when they recruit people with the ACCA qualification, they can add value right from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and this is really borne out by the number of different roles that the ACCA graduates end up doing in the longer term. There is a increasingly large demand from CEOs that their finance team are business partners, and the ACCA qualification really does provide that base level of skills to complement the technical skills to allow finance people to become a more integrated part of the business, which ultimately means as an ACCA graduate, you're not going to be stuck in a role of pure finance. You get a lot more satisfying strategic work, and if you look at a lot of the public companies around the world, there is an increasing percentages of CFOs moving up into the CEO roles. And if you look closely at those people who made that journey, typically they have very good qualifications. And I think over time you will see the ranks of CEOs populated by an increasing percentage of people who've done the ACCA qualification.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, and then we in Brazil in particular, the CFA program tends to be more widely known than ACCA. So sometimes we have people coming to SHP Financial Training saying that they want to do CFA when actually ACCA might be more suited to their profile and to their ambitions within their organizations. So how do you think ACCA graduates compare to other finance-focused candidates? So, for example, CFA charter holders.
Yeah, interesting. We get the same question in our business. People look at what should I do, CFA and ACCA, and inevitably we do recommend the ACCA. The CFA is very financial markets orientated, and it does give you deeply sort of technical skills, but it is very focused around banking and finance. The ACCA does allow you to work across almost any industry. It doesn't rule out working in banking and finance, but it is much more of a well-rounded qualification, and it does provide so much more skills around sort of practical business applications that this CFA just doesn't. So it really is a clear choice to give yourself especially if you're at the outset of your career and you want to give yourself as many options as possible. The ACCA is definitely one of the best qualifications you can do.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kevin. Wonderful. So thank you for with us today. Is there anything else you think is important that employers should know?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the candidates to do the ACCA or the employers?
Both, either. If there's anything you think important that we might have missed.
Yeah, look, I'll just touch on both sides of that, just to finish up our interview today. When people come to us as candidates, they're always looking for a role that will expand and give them a lot more options and I guess be more satisfying, over time, and give you access to leadership positions. So the ACCA qualification is, a definite advantage. When we do searches at senior level, we typically find that people who haven't done that professional qualification do top out at maybe the controller level. Okay, if you're moving into the CFO, FD, and maybe even the CEO role, a deep understanding of the financial aspects of a business is absolutely critical. And if you've done the ACCA qualification, you've got an understanding of business acumen, like the ethics module, incredibly important these days with all of the compliance challenges that companies have. So, I highly recommend it for someone who really sees big things for their future. And the other thing, which many Brazilians that we speak to have big aspirations to work internationally, and the ACCA really is that passport to moving international within your firm or being considered for roles across the States, Europe, and other territories. So if you've got international aspirations as well as seniority aspirations, it's an ideal choice. On the other side, with employers, we often present a range of candidates to our clients, and the ACCA candidates really do sort of stand out as people who've got a broader set of skills, more applicable across the different aspects of being a business partner, which is really what the finance role is morphing into, but it also shows like a level of commitment and a level of rigor that these people have put themselves through. Susan, better than anyone who focuses on committing to doing an ACCA, it's a lot of work, and employees realize that this is someone who's really serious about their career, who's got the ability to focus, dedicate time, be structured, and they're definitely a person that can manage their time and is focused on the long term. So my advice to employers, when you do see an ACCA, you have a chat to them about the work that they've done to get that qualification. And I think when you scratch below the surface, you're going to find a very dedicated, focused individual, which is ideal for your business. So I applaud you, Susan, for bringing the ACCA to Brazil. I think companies need it, and I think you're going to be in a position to provide wonderful next level career opportunities to your students who graduate from the program. So thanks for your time. It's great to talk about people's futures and how qualifications can help them get there.
Great, thanks, Kevin. Much appreciated. Some very useful insights there.
Yeah.
And for anyone who wants to find out more about the ACCA qualification or about Robert Walters in Brazil, check out the links below this video, which should be there on the YouTube channel.
Great.